Friends, welcome. And today I'll be discussing something very important that we have to understand our own self. So there's a question all the philosophies in the world, too many philosophies in the world, too many religions formed through those philosophies, too many nations formed through some philosophies, through some divisions of groupism, characters, culture, but there were words, languages, written language, spoken language. So many languages are there in the world. But how effective are the languages? How effective are the religions in giving full dimension of a man? Is a man already who was considered an animal has become a human being already? Or is there a chance of him going back as an animal? Or is he going towards divine? So many questions arise. So I have a lot of things to say, but don't think I'm confusing. I'll go structurally now. Uh, First of all, do we believe in the language? Whatever we talk, whatever we conceive, and how we express that conception in words, and how people understand whatever is expressed through the words, either in writing or in vocal, oral, is uh, those words or those words understood uniformly across human being, or is it that each one derives a different meaning about the words we are speaking? And one language, we translate from one language to other. We got a translation facility. So if we translate almost same, would it mean the same for those words in the context? So are the words contextual? That means they can be used in different contexts differently. So that's correct. I mean, so many words. I can give hundreds of examples in many languages. I mean, few languages. But so why I'm not elaborating on that only one word can have several meanings. I mean, it's very simple. If you look at the dictionary, each word gives a different meaning for one word, maybe five, in some places 10. So with how we are using those words in circumstances. So the words themselves, the language itself cannot express ourselves clearly. That's the problem we face. So it is said in different people directly don't say that, but we come to a conclusion from um, many. Uh, for example, Mother and Aravindo always talk about that thing comes in our mind, the spark comes in our mind, and then that kind of words they would be using. So for defining how somebody gets a disease, I don't exactly quote. That's why my clear-cut intention is not to exactly quote somebody's words. It has got different meaning. That's why what I understood, I'm just saying. So for my discussion today, exactly quoting somebody is not helping. So uh, the meaning understood so if everybody understands quotes from the philosopher, from Bible, from Quran, or from Bhagavad Gita, then why should hundreds of uh, interpretations out there? How many books are written on those? And uh, how many pracharaks or uh, how many uh, discourses are happening in the world about Bhagavad Gita? Why, if we all understood Bhagavad Gita or Quran or Bible, then why should there be discourses about them? The word clearly gives us meaning. But I accept it depends on somebody's experience. If I say God or if I say truth, it's not equal. But everybody has their experience is different. What is truth to one person cannot be truth to the other person. Or what is truth to another person, maybe partially that same meaning can be interpreted by somebody, but not full. So this is a language. I mean, I can explain, but the context for today's discussion is not about the inadequacy of languages, any language. I'm not talking about any language. We are just going back for the problem of the world, why there are wars in the world, why conflicts are there, why hunger is there, why inequality is there, uh, why each one is divided, why we get angry, why we get so all there must be some reason behind all those things. I'm just going to understand. I'm trying to understand, and I'm going for a solution through the religion, through the philosophy, through the science, medical science, or I can even go to the languages for help. Wherever I go, wise men, yogis, and scriptures, wherever I go, I have problem. Why? I have to understand everything through language, through the words. Nations are formed through words framework. That is, their constitutions are written and they're coded in a language, same rule or regulation. For example, criminal, I'm not going so to the incidences, small examples, no, but I'm giving only a broader idea. Um, so criminal law, if the courts are very clear, everybody can understand it clearly, then why the lawyers uh, come into play much more than what is exactly what happened, and there is a punishment for some crime. Why anybody gets the same, does the same crime, doesn't get the same punishment? So there are arguments over that, interpretations and arguments by the lawyers, and um, so everything differs from one person to the other. The laws enacted and they are changing, and the interpretation of law. If even now in Supreme Court in India, the constitutional matters are not yet settled. The uh, governor's uh, position, what he can do in overruling the elected government, still not settled. So it's very fluid. Nothing is fixed. Everything is fluid. My idea today is to understand, is it because we define everything through partially understood words? Words can never convey full meaning, same meaning to everybody. So many things are implied from them. But if we can't make others understand through words, language, uh, then how can we communicate with others? There are problems. Even fixed, this is how it is. Like that, even quotes, even cricket, you just take quotes. So well-defined rules, regulation, even uh, we don't even believe man umpire or something, but we have devices to go back to the action and define whether it touched the bat or pad, or the angle was going to hit the stamp or not, and then we decide. Even then, controversies arise. Even when something is decided based on that, teams say, oh, no, this is wrong. And we redefine and we improve that or something, if at all we call it improvement. So I can go back and say, Aurobindo says diseases are conceived immediately something is heard as disease. The mind thinks about it and it takes it, then disease is formed in that person also. That means our mind can conceptualize so many things, but he says if you are thinking, the thinking without anything, spontaneously something is coming. There is no language, there is no word or something. Your mind, conditioned mind, only has to frame it in words and you have to express. There only the problem of expressions come. The concept, the immediately something comes in your mind. He calls it differently. Even he's not even giving name. And the same concept told by Derrida also. He is a philosopher, atheist. They're almost talking about atheism. He's also saying something is coming. You can't put it in language. So even two opposite uh, centric people also converge on that. So something is coming. Or do we call this conscious? And if it is a wave of thinking merging without words, is it super conscious? There are so many interpretations for that. So many philosophers define everything through the words. They they create a boundary for us. That's another problem. Whether man has boundaries or not, we don't know. Man, when he's born, why these conflicts are there? And J. Krishnamurti also was saying about boundaries created by our mind. We need to be observant about thinking, and the fire wars. For wars, we have to refine ourselves. our minds are conditioned based on the countries, based on the divisions created by us, based on countries, languages, this or that. So first, I think I belong to this country. Then another countryman comes, he wants to say there's a conflict created. And our inner urge, uh, as per Osho, is animalistic. I mean, he wants to fight. He wants to man's character. So he hasn't evolved fully. He talks about going to a lion stage and child stage, all those things. No, I'm sorry, I'm mixing Osho with JK. That's purely intentional because everybody wanted to divide and say this is what correct. I mean, their understanding. Osho says lion stage, you have to go at least one in a million go to lion stage. Or somebody may immediately point out, no, he didn't say million, lakh, or I don't, the immediately what happened, if you can't think generically, specific or through the words, generics can be through our conscience. The specifics change all the time. Generics, the I say a bird's eye view, it doesn't change. When you go in and spot a small object, then that is different. What is the word? If you go from top and see, beautiful. What is Mars from you top on top? You see, if we don't want to be attached to the land, a bird's eye view is good. If we want to be attached to the bottom of that, we want to find a solution. The solution human being adopted so far is by communication through, uh, you know, languages, words, and constitution. But so they got a division as well, land and the country division and religious division and haves and have not, those kind of division. So with these divisions, our mind is conditioned. So all the purpose of everything in the world, the religions also say that. And conditioned mind is a problem. Initially, I talked about conscience. Something comes spontaneously in our mind. When I have a conditioned mind, even conscience, we think it's coming through the conscience, but it's coming from our conditioned mind. So that's why conscience and superconscious there. Superconscious, I mean, that's also a word. I mean, it's coined by us. There's no conscience. There's no, even God doesn't have a name. God, if you call God, particular God, and everybody doesn't understand God in the same way that the other person understood. So conscience or superconscious, from that, how we act on regular basis. How can we understand our thinking today, our decision making today is not biased based on our conditioning happened either now or past through many births. How a human being can think neutrally without being caught up in the conditions happening. What is the condition? You belong to one country, this country. So you have to be nationalistic, patriotic. whatever happens, if anybody wants to hurt this country, you have to go to war. And so our nature, if we assume, it's very equanimous. So immediately when that word, that nation creates irritation and we got anger. So whatever happens, if anybody attacks my country, I have to go and war, attack. So violence, Professor Morley in his some videos, he said violence, he was talking to somebody, he points out somebody's philosophers, J. Krishnamurti, the wars are created by boundaries created in our mind. So this violence, if violence has to go, wars have to go, but the observation of our mind, whatever coming in our mind has to happen. For that, we have to understand that there is a conditionality in our mind. So the decision taken at the nation level by the governments formed in democratic countries through two division. One against other, they argue this is correct, that is correct. When you look into their policy, nothing big difference, only small differences will be there. They highlight that, and they go to the election, and they, in autocratic setup also, decision by the autocrat based on the history, whatever happened before, later, in many years before, decades ago, hundreds of years, that job, my king, that country suffered. So I have to give back. So this kind of conditioned mind only makes autocrat take a decision on a particular case, so that creates conflicts. So how we can come out of our conditioned mind? There are so meditation, yogic practices are supplementary to the uh, understanding of our own selves. So yoga, meditation is mostly thought about as a solution where you can understand the impurities, condition mind. So you can be stand still in your, when you're not thinking. All religions say that your mind, if you control your mind, uh, you can understand many things. Controlling our mind is like, stopping the waves of the ocean. It doesn't happen that easily. Control is not possible. By understanding, by observing, uh, it's possible. Observe, when observing, who is observed? Those questions come. So somebody is observing. So where are you then? Whom you are observing? So that's why these five koshas come to play. They say your mind, you are not one. You got five different bodies for kosha. One is Stula Sariram, the Anna Annagosha, Annamaya Gosha, Manomaya Gosha, mind and intellect. Mind creates thoughts, it is always analyzing, it puts it in the intellect. And intellect is the store of information like a computer storage. So it retrieves. When mind wants to decide on the other thing, next thing, it goes back and brings the intelligence, the so-called intelligence perceived by through the body taken in this birth, and that's very trivial, but the decisions are made. Even autocrats take a decision based on their mind and intellect. That's how it happens. And Annamaya Gosha, Manomaya Gosha, and then this breath, they say, That is another kosha. And after that, there is another kosha, blissful kosha. So that talks about that blissful nature where all these four koshas don't act. So in that case, the manomaya kosha, the mind, the intellect, and even body, all the three indriyas, all the three has to be non-active or they are under control. In that case, that is the reason for the meditation. We want to go to that stage. So the meditative stage is very difficult. People can, I mean, we say you are big. We always tend to think small from our body angle. So it opens up our mind, mostly meditation, purpose of the meditation, the light meditation or whatever it says, you are big and you concentrate on the light, controlling pattern of meditation. I think it's very difficult. It doesn't happen quickly, but enlarging, I mean, enlarging your vision, uh, envision yourself in a bigger, 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 like God, that comes a little bit easy. Still, the mind is working. So, how can we control the mind or come away from the mind? Is there a different way to do that? Artificial ways is that they don't think about the narcotics to guard the mind. They are very temporary. We are not talking about that. Is there a way? Why this mind is? What is acting? What is the basis of this mind? How this? Okay, not elaborating, only from the body angle, which is making the mind working in two ways. Yes, no, yes, no. What is that making that? Mostly we say nervous system. Nervous system works on the mind. I mean, the mind works through the nervous system. So to control that nervous system, this is my interpretation. I mean, very simple what I'm saying. So we think about pranayama, meditate. So pre-meditative exercises include your control of your breathing exercises. Okay, in that the mind and its working partners, nervous system, are a little bit not agitate, not in a dual mode. They are singular, one way, silent. So this is the difficult way of achieving our meditate. So is that that meditative stage, you come out of that, you feel the bliss. So everybody says blissful state. I also attained so many times. It's really good. When you are in that stage, you don't want to come back. All these matters become trivial. Uh, my I went to meditative stage, even I stayed there for 2 days. That was not, I mean, somehow it was blissful state. The problem is it has to end somewhere. You have to come out. Then all these things create. So it's only a temporary state. To get to that, we have to work very hard to make it happen. And by practice, if you do that all the time, every time, is it coming? I doubt. So, Vanaprasthashramam that was prescribed for this doesn't work here. So, Swami Satyasai says that is for Dwapara Yuga, Treta Yuga, not for Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga, Vanaprasthatram, you can't go somewhere, sit and forget about all those things. It's not. You have to do it here, right here in the family. You have to be, it's only a mindset or something. You can't go somewhere else and you can forget like that. It's not, but even Treta Yuga, Kali Yuga, it didn't happen. That was prescribed as a method. Brahmacharya, Grihasthashram, Vanaprasthashram comes later, last stages. So here, the ashramas are there, but not really. They are real in the sense they are not visibly there, but it's virtually there. So every stage we pass, even why we give retirement to people, whether we don't even check whether he's capable of working another 10 years. No, 60 years, you are retired. 50 years. So this is how we have stages. We created those same stages in this Kali Yuga also. So now we, again and again, is there a way to stop my mind thinking so that I can understand what's happening? So ailments also, wars also, or inequalities are also created by our minds, which has got a lot of boundaries, which thinks in a crooked manner or not in a straight manner. It can take sides, this side, that side. That is the problem of the wars, or because of we lost our nature. What is our nature? So I'm not going to the religions to resolve that this is Atma and other thing. That comes later. So our own body, minds, everything is created by boundaries. The boundaries are ruling us rather than we are born without boundaries. But inside us, okay, still we talked about the mind that is ordered by the nervous system. But this is the basis of our, so they say karma, action and reaction. So the mind stores whatever we did, and whenever the same thing happened, it says you did this at that time, you have to do that. This is, we can we can think about as karma. What we did, we have to, all the actions have got reactions. But if we don't want this karma of action and reaction, and we have to be silent. So that's what it is. Another thing about the body. So this is about the mind, our action, about the body and physical realm is coming from through the genes. So that's from the seed of us. From a seed we are coming, that seed has contained something that we can't, genes, we don't talk about that now, our physical nature, all those things. That comes from gene. So if you look back about the genes, it comes from, in Vedas, it says, Om, Omkara. So everything is created by Omkara. How can I believe that? Through vibrations only, world was created. Before vibrations happen, there's nothing. In the universe, nothing was there. And we interpret there's a total bliss there that is called God. Maybe, yeah. When at the meditative stage, we are like that. So that's said in many religions, not only Hindu, the Christianity, there was beautiful. I mean, so it talks about physical nature, blissful state, and Veda says non-physical state, that is called Nirguna Brahma. Sadguna Brahma is perfectly good character, everything. He is the example. From him, everything comes. And Sadguna Brahma to Nirguna Brahma, no gunas, nothing, nothingness. From nothingness, everything comes. So again, when there is a physical form, there should be vibration. Why? Om. When we say Om, Om has got its sound. Its word, it's a sound. Om. It goes up to this. Om. When I'm saying the last Om, it touches my fire. After that, it's inhaling. Ooh. After that, clearly, if you have to do Omkara, this is the way you have to do. Not many, but ooh, it touches the fire, and when it comes back, the exhalation takes place. At that time, the body and this part is going down. Ooh, you see? Ooh. The last becomes silent. It's no more a vibration. Oh, it comes down, and really, when you're doing properly, oh, the exhalation relaxes this portion, and the vibration become silent, that Paramananda state, the Ananda, the blissful bliss is carried down to the heart, near the heart. So relax. When Yam becomes silence, Om, till that it is sound. Sound is also changing. I don't go in depth about it. Oh, when it becomes silent, the silence pervades inside. That they say is the connecting source for the entire universe, from sound to silence. So when it is silence, Nirguna Brahma, that is Yugam. They say Yuga. When Yuga transit happens, complete silence, nothing is there. So we talked about from vibrate for any physical, chemical, any form or structure, it needs vibration. Without vibration, physical, chemical, or any property, any matter is not possible. That's we call atom or whatever name we call. In atom, what happens? Proton. It's going on. Proton, electron, neutron, they're going cycle each. So the same way, ooh, silent. So that's why meditation through Omkara, when we are, the earth's resonance also very related to Omkara. The same frequency goes in. When I talk about frequency, I have to talk about it to you later more. That's a solution. We talked about how to make silent. So through Omkara, we can bring silence. That's what missing. To observe ourselves, we need silence of mind, intellect, everything. So that can be created here. That's what I talked about. So how to bring that silence? Omkara is one of the tools, but that is the primordial sound. So that is definitely it will bring. That is the reason. but I can't chant Omkara all the time. Oh. So when you are doing that, you can do other things also. So it can be practiced like that. And on top of it, something others also every day, every decision, every work we are doing now, we can do with that. But we can't, everybody can't do that. There are, so we go back to the maybe 1600. So some sound waves people have checked, and each frequency identified as having this kind, this effect, this effect, this effect. So I couldn't sleep for whatever tablet, anything. So I checked with sound therapy or something I on my own. So I found binaural beats with certain frequencies can bring about sleep. And I just ascertained what is happening when my mind cannot be stopped at the time. Nothing. My effort about mind, if I'm thinking, I have to stop thinking, then that becomes another thinking. So we can't stop. So we can't, through intelligence, through the thinking, we can't make change in our thinking. That is what the world is attempting about discussion about war, and we want to stop. We have to be silent in our mind to understand the animal nature uh, in that, and we have to think. Somebody said, condition mind. J. Krishnamurti said, if you want to follow non-violence, there is violence in you, in your mind. You want to change it to non-violence. That is, you are conditioning your mind from violence to non-violence. That won't last. Easier is easier than that is observing what is happening and eliminate that. Why violence is happening? Is it coming through long time in my mind, or is it taking observation? For that, I have to observe why, when it is coming, why anger is coming. Observation. That's what he's thinking. I mean, I'm not. It's not his thinking. So observation is there in all philosophies. You have to understand who, when you're in silence, when you're observing what you're doing, who is the observer? They say Atma, Paramatma, so many things. So, so even we are not going to the religion, they are talking about Atma, how to make it shine by silencing your mind. And so we are trying to find a scientific way of silencing my mind. So I did a binaural beats with certain frequency, lower frequencies, maybe up to 4 hex. So all of a sudden I fell asleep. That means it silences through how it works. It brings your mind to your brain waves. We say brain waves uh, to the sound initiated externally. This sound or waves are created externally, and when each this year will have a slightly different, this year will have different uh, different hex. That small difference your mind has to create, make up. When it making up, that becomes the wave, the thinking wave, brain wave created in your left and right wave. So left wave left brain. Colloquially, we talk about left brain wave, right brain lobe. So thinking itself is because of, I'm just going the scientific explanation. The thinking is because uh, logical thinking and the past and present, I mean, the memory carried out from that, we want to analyze logically whether it's correct or this. So this thinking always going on. The brain wave is created when you are in tension. What happens is brain is so active. It's saying this correct, this correct, this correct. So it's working through the mind and stored in the brain. So this wave may be at that time high waves. I don't go into the details about what is zero, what is 150 each. There are many kind of sound waves. One is mono wave, another binaural waves, isochronic tones. These tones, through that we can create waves. So binaural is this and right and left ears different, a little bit different through the stereophone. So a little bit difference that is created in your mind, that becomes the wave. So the mind loses the intensity, only it sits through what is the difference between you hear here and there. So that's a colloquial, easier understood explanation. That's what I'm doing all through the discussion here. I'm not uh, saturating with technical terms. So silence slowly, without knowing, without wanting too much, we already are in uh, another method of obtaining silence. So through binaural waves uh, or isochronic waves, we can create uh, silence in our mind, and it works for even ailments, as Aurobindo said, as somebody said. Uh, so even chakra, you talk about. So in some chakra, uh, is affected. So what is the frequency for this chakra? So here we know is throat chakra. So so that chakra, how long will you be saying hum? Practically in our life, we don't have time. So we can create that vibration, not sound, only the vibration of that we can create uh, through hearing. So we now uh, connect with us through the Vedas, everything scientifically. Why? I just tell you my experience. I just was in death. Somehow I felt I died, and I was observing whatever happening. Before death, what happens? I explain. I mean, you don't take it as somebody in death tells you. Logically, also you can take it. Don't quote me for. Don't think about what was the day happening on the day. What transpired, I tell you, if it is logically take. So what happened? Um, but Tirumula, so many poets talk about that. When die, the parts are immobile. They are not mine. They are not working. So between, can I talk at that time? No. Can I see? Slowly, one by one. So it's there in the relics. What will happen for each part is also explained. So I'm just talking the top portions of that. So what happens is vision, maybe one thing. So you can't, even when you don't see physically, what will be left at the last, everything gone. what will be lost is hearing. You can hear, only hear. Oh. So that's why in deathbed, people come and chant some lyrics, bhajans or something. I mean, without knowing they're doing. So that sound is the form. That sound is the basis lost of the five element. That is the basis, physical basis of creation. So if I can't see, what is the use of light for me? From the light, everything comes, but the sound. From sound, last after that, when we go as vibration. So through vibrations only, we can come back also. So that vibration creates waves and it creates divisions and it creates multiplicities. Uh, uh, so thinking that this is correct, that is correct, all those things. So written words, languages created and wanted to maintain the world in that way, it utterly fails because the constitution between one country and another country can be in conflict, and the criminal justice system between in same country can be interpreted by different people differently. Rules and regulations can be interpreted by different people. Why entrepreneurs think that they go they twist the rules to make their entity worthwhile before the rule is changed, clarified. So that's how the through words controlling people behavior has utterly failed. So the other way is by vibration, constitution. So now comes another part of it. So everybody talks about bliss. I also talked about bliss, blissful state, ananda, paramananda state, where everything. So when I am in people in meditation, I also work at that stage. Nothing is. We don't even bother about anything. Everything is in a blissful state. At that state, everything you know, everything is known. Yes, a person. Okay, you can understand even without talking. Many times it happened. What is coming in the phone? Who is calling? We all have the clue. He's calling. So we think that is a fluke or it's by luck we are in. So many things happen without our thinking, easily connecting. So everything in this world is connected. It is a flow of events happening by action and reaction. So the thinking itself is a big part of communication. We haven't fully understood and utilized our thinking part. It was I can understand from some scripts that in Vedakala, that is uh, uh, Treta Yuga, people, whoever thinks, the other person know what he's thinking, he'll ask question. Why you're thinking? Treta Yuga also, I think there were I mean, I have gone through some. It says even he didn't say, but he thinks something, the other person understood. Here also, we know what somebody is thinking if he is in front of you, you are looking, but his words may be different. Still, but you have to prove that he's thinking. We have to rely on what he's saying, words. So this system is relying on just words. They are not pure because what somebody thinks, he may not need to talk out. That's what we are talking. So connection through vibration happens when you are in love. So blissful love, God love, that we forget about all those things. We just think, this I experimented. If I want somebody to call me, I, uh, I think about him lovingly, what he did for me. Immediately I get a call. This I practiced long, and so I think about something he did something wrong to me. Immediately he gets agitated with me. Our conflicts are growing, growing, growing. We will be talking. We will be in discussion with each other in a table. We want to bring a compromise. Still in my mind, there are problems about him. This no resolution happens. In my mind, purely I understand his position. So if I am in his position, what I will do? That I have, putting yourself in somebody else's position, Jesus says that several times uh, in his teachings. Putting in somebody else's shoes, then you understood how he is also justified in what he did. So if you think like that, you understand the other person. So when this kind of thinking happens, we will think, oh, if I am in his way, I will do that. So there is no forgiveness happening there. There is understanding, observation, as said by JK, and going to higher status, as Osho said, as understanding through the conscience, whatever comes in your mind. Like Aurobindo said, all this happens when you try to understand. And in my mind, I send love to that person. In a conflict table, in a discussion table, you just send your love. He'll come. See, the problem is, technically, when I'm saying, people may try, the other person also will come, but resolution won't happen. Why? It's only transitory. You want him to come and sit, and you love. So I'm not talking of, I mean, maybe imagination. So we got a success formula. You imagine yourself where you want to be. The compromise is reached. You're signing. You're thinking, visualizing that it may happen. That's in part, maybe correct. But I'm going beyond that. Only through understanding of the other person and love. You just send him love, 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 love. Okay, I tell you one example and I'll finish that. In okay, we were in an organization that teaches you have to show love to everybody, even your enemy. You have to show. What happened? We were serving food to the homeless. It was in a dark night, 7:30, in a park where not many people. It's very cold weather. Somebody came and he's also maybe a homeless. He threw everything out. Whatever was in our table, we were meant to serve the other homeless, but he threw. We could have got angry and called the police, but I was in charge at that time. I was silent at that time. Ladies were there, volunteers. I made them quiet, and we put back all those things. That happened. That's finished. When I was going in my car, I was jumping in my car. So still we served the food. It's not spoiled. So no, we didn't fight with that person. Go away. In my mind, I never had agitation about him, no worries about him. So whatever happens, let it. It is a reaction of what we did before. So we have to silence. Previous week only they taught us to be loving. So I tried that. So in my car, I got up in my car. That person came. He asked me to open the door. He pointed a gun at my chest. What should I do? I should shout. Not the volunteers are gone. I mean, they are all gone. Nobody. So only one may be there if I shout. On the road, nobody. Even if I shout, I will have an agitation about him saying he may kill. That is fear. And krota, if I have, oh my God, I want to chase him away. That is krota, anger. So if I get both, he will also get it. See, the problem is if I get, that will reflect on him. He will also get it. So what I was told in the previous week, I just wanted to try it. I don't have any other way, so I started saying, I love you. I mean, with a little bit sound audible to him. I love you. I love you. I love you. It went on for about 5 minutes. Maybe I'm not precise. 5 minutes. He was abusing me for something. I mean, what he's talking, I don't even understand. So, 6th minute, he said, I love you. And he went away. Brothers, sisters, elders, this is the essence of people talked about love, the supreme love. It's not, I had love. I just pulled some love. And when I'm saying I love you, I love you, I love you, it really flows in me. Practice. Even by just saying I love you, create love. You find fault with others, it happens as a practice. You will always be finding fault. The other person will find fault with you. There's no end to life. So for the conflict, we started with how to avoid the conflict world. I showed you not through the languages, not through the national divisions, not through anything, only by thinking, not even in language, thinking lovingly, it happens. Samasta loka sukhino bhavantu. That means the entire world has to be happy. It has to be blissful. We have to pray, and our mind has to question. In Satyasai organization, I can quote that one: love all, serve all. Hurt never, help ever. These four words can form the basis of whatever we talked now about the vibrations going and the love. So if any situation, anything happens, okay, whether it can be reactive, it can be action or reaction, whatever, in that these four sentences, love all, without exception. Nobody I should not love. I mean, there should not be a situation where I can't love somebody. Why? You have to think. I mean, you have to refine. Love all, serve all. So the entire my body I've taken through, I already explained, through the genes and my thinking, action and reaction. This body is there to serve others. Then love all, serve all. Nobody, nobody has got uh, any duty or debt to give me. Only I have a duty and debt to give to the world. Love all, serve all. Hurt never. Hurt never means not a single person. Even your enemy. That is what Jesus said. Hurt never. Help ever. My intention, my thinking, we talked about the thinking part. Now, this thing first has to be in thinking. Love all. How I can love. So thinking always dwell on this, not how I can get this or that. Love how I can love all. So because otherwise, we initially talked about being, uh, As J.K. said, we are animalistic. We got animalistic quality or anger, krodha, everything. We have to go to this love all in our mind. Then only our at least basic humanity is still in action or thinking everything happens. Action. Thinking precedes action. So thinking is love all, serve all. Why we should serve all? Okay. Can I just sit and be happy? No. Our nature is to find a way to do something to others because our requirement is very limited. Few times we have to eat, we need a place to sleep, that's all. Not much. So the entire other life, what will we do? Can we eat all the time? No, it's not. We have to do something. So you imagine whatever we are doing, is it to satisfy other customers? So whatever we do in life, we have to serve. When it is determined that we have to serve, we have to do it sincerely, whatever. Why should somebody do something correctly, perfectly in an employment when it's employed or for money? Why can't I do it on the street? Somebody is asking, why should I not do for a homeless person? Whether I am doing something for the homeless as a service or on a street urchin or on a highly paid job, all should be safe, full, sincere. This is easy, isn't it? But divisions created by mind, divisions created by land, divisions created by inequality, divisions created by uh, education. They are disturbing us, not doing serve all what? Love all, serve all. Help ever. Our nature is to help. What happens? Okay, I'm not helping. Somebody in distress. I didn't help. Will it hurt me? Yes, 100%. When we go home, when we are in silence, somebody wanted help outside. I could have done that just because I have a strong opinion about certain things. I don't want to help beggars or something. I go back, slowly it will hurt me, slowly. So when I don't want to be hurt and my mind has to be happy, I don't want to spoil my mind. What I can do? Easy. Serve. Help ever. Hurt never. One word I say. One thinking I have. If it hurts somebody, it's a reflection. It will come back to me. Then why should I hurt? Anything you do, I mean, Newton's theory, what hurt? Action and reaction. Thinking. If you think wrong, it's established, isn't it? What do you think? It comes back. Forget about karma and other things. Scientifically, one action has got a reaction. The reaction will come only to you because your mind is working. Through your mind only, you are doing that. Hurting. Hurting by word. Hurting by deed. Hurting by thinking. So if we avoid that, we can be blissful. So now I go back to that. We have found a solution for conflicts because they are created by words. We we want to work on our vibrational state where our conscience work, not the religious conscience. Our conscience is when there is no words involved in our mind because words are very tricky. It's spontaneous. Spontaneous. The spontaneousness should act on love all, serve all. Help ever, but never. If that is the spontaneous reaction practiced and conflicts are almost nil. Why I say almost nil? Always there will be um, some differences, someone. So we have to take that into action. The percentage today also, whatever I said, may be followed by low percentage. What we are saying through the religion, now we talk about the religion. Religion say you are Atma, so everybody is good. We take animalistic nature is coming through the body. If you don't think about the mind is absent, we are working on a vibrational state. At that stage, we don't need anything. So at that stage, so the percentage is going up and up. So almost by practicing these things, our world can resolve its problem, created many thousands of years land waste. The entire world can be like Vasudeva Kudumbakam, Yadum Mure, Yavarum Kele, like that. It's already there, but this past mind, past works through the mind, through the democracies or autocracies is the problem. Nationhoods come and join as one, and not under one leader, under one concept of love all, save all, help ever, hurt never philosophy will be as good as the heaven. Thank you.